You know, this time of the year, even though the plants are starting to be harvested and they're going to die off soon, the end of the harvest season, this is more of a season where we're preparing now for next year. We have these compost bins. We take all of our grass that when we mow, we just throw it in here. We throw dead leaves, all of our like we have plants and things we want to get rid of. We just toss it in here, and that decomposes over the winter time. So in the spring, we'll put it right back on the soil. It helps feed the soil. There's banana peelings in there, apple cores, watermelon rinds. All that will decompose over the winter, and then we'll just use that in the spring to feed the plants. There's two ways really to kind of go into the cold season, into the winter, as far as growing crops. What I have over here, I have these are collard greens here. Those are green beans, and those are mustard greens there and over there. Collard greens are tolerable to to cold, and green beans are a cool weather crop. They'll probably make it up until the first frost, which is, they're ready to produce now. And the greens will take a light frosting. And I plant those like late July, early August. This is a curly leaf mustard green here. And that's really a lot of nutrition in greens. And they're really cold hardy. Right now that we're battling some of the insects, but after we get like a chill or a frost, the insects will go away. And these will produce all the way up until probably, if it doesn't get too hard freezes going on, too many hard freezes, it'll withstand a couple of light freezes. And these are a regular Florida broadleaf mustard green, and these are starting to get some size on them, and these will last through a nice cold snap as well. And they're really good. And what I do is I parboil them and put them in the freezer, and that locks in some of the nutrients. So in the dead of winter and you want to have a taste for fresh greens, you have those at your fingertips. What we have over here is that's okra over here. I'll walk and show. Now that's not going to take any cold weather at all. As soon as we get that first freeze, it's done for the year. So, but what we do now is it's bearing really good. Now we have to pick it about every day. You see, it goes from a flower. See from the pod here, goes from a pod to a flower to an actual okra pod. And see, these are probably a day apart, and they grow about twice their size every day. So if you let it set for 2 or 3 days, it'll be too big to pick. But what you can do with these, pick them now and parboil them. They're excellent sort of nutrition. So in the wintertime, have these in your freezer as well. That way you can kind of eat throughout the winter with practically fresh produce. We're going to go inside the hoop houses now. We're going to extend the season with tomatoes and hot weather crops by just having them enclosed in a hoop house. And a hoop house is different from a greenhouse. Greenhouses are more a permanent structure, and they have like fans and heaters and the whole bit. And hoop houses don't. That's a big difference. So let's go walk over here and I'll show you what it looks like inside. One thing that we're doing here at Phi Global Farms, we're transitioning from outdoor gardening or farming to indoor farming. And we're using high tunnels or hoop houses. And one of the things that we're doing is we're going to grow tomatoes inside. They should fare well in here because of the heat factor. They're blooming now, and they'll be ready to produce here in not too long. They are starting to come on as a winter crop. We have the green tomatoes now. They'll turn red as we go. And so along with the peppers, they'll stay producing for a while. So even after we get a nice freeze, they'll still be protected in here. Over here, we have fiber growing over on this side just to see how far along in the season it can go. and that'll help us as we build our capacity. We'll have outdoor and indoor farming, which will extend our seasons on both ends. In the spring, we'll have an earlier spring crop, and then we'll have a later fall crop. So that's the whole idea behind season extenders.